Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gamansing. In our top story, one of the Virgin Islands' significant landmarks was not able to receive visitors for over 10 years. Structural repairs that costed millions of dollars to restore delayed Fort Christian reopening over the years. During this, the Virgin Islands Centennial commemoration, the fort was able to safely open its doors to both Virgin Islanders and Danish visitors. Stephanie Brown reports.
Fort Christian, one of the oldest historical structures in the territory, was reopened last evening. At the opening ceremony, both the governor and lieutenant governor toured the fort in St. Thomas, as well as attended a dedication service in the fort's internal chapel.
You shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation.
The lieutenant governor stated that he was happy that the fort was opened just in time to align with the Centennial commemoration. Pam Richards, the chairman of the Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial Commission, exclaimed that she was attentive to all the debates and discussions regarding Centennial on radio, public forums, and social media platforms.
And I will say to you that clearly one of the benefits of the Transfer Day observance has been dialogue in the community about our circumstances, the media attraction that we've garnered worldwide.
Myron Jackson, the Senate President of the 32nd Legislature, shared his knowledge as a historian on the history of the fort.
Our ancestors' hands were used to build these walls, thick with the sweat and the resilience of their soul and their determination that has passed through the generations in the fiber of our being. An African master mason by the name of Simon Lamar, a clerk of the works, used his knowledge, skills, and vision to see this fortress to completion.
The governor also shared thoughts of the opening of the fort.
And that we're just so happy that we could be a part of its reopening, its relaunching, its rededication, and it's going back to use to the people of the islands and our visitors.
Fort Christian was closed in 2005, and after being closed for over 10 years and receiving $6 million in repairs, its doors were finally reopened.
Officially open.
For NEWS2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Over 250 people attended the reopening, and the fort will be able to receive visits from local schools and visiting guests. Well, Nikolai Villumsen, a member of the Danish parliament that has been a spokesman for Danish foreign affairs and emergency preparedness, as well as served as vice chairman of the group Unified European Left, appeared on a radio talk show earlier today on St. Croix with host Robert Moorhead. Villumsen exclaimed that the Virgin Islands transfer commemoration has opened much needed dialogue. Here's more.
It's a bit difficult to see what you should celebrate. I think it's important to mark something that has happened in history, and that was this sale. But it was a sale without consultation. It was a sale where the rights of the Virgin Islands people were not secured, and that is, I think that is a tragic part of our common history. And to me, it's very clear that we are the Danish people and the people of the Virgin Islands, two people that are related, but they are related in a tragic and history.
And as we shared, the formal representative of Denmark, Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen, will be among the distinguished guests attending the ceremonies on St. Croix and St. Thomas on March 31st. In the Prime Minister's New Year's Day address to the nation of Denmark, he made mention of this year's centennial commemoration. He will be accompanied by his wife, Solrun Rasmussen. He is scheduled to visit the University of the Virgin Islands campus in St. Thomas on Saturday, April 1st at 9 a.m., where he will meet with UVI President Dr. David Hall and UVI students. During his visit, Mr. Rasmussen will honor the warm friendship between the U.S. Virgin Islands and Denmark. Well, the Danish International Police Association, they continued their tour of the Virgin Islands Police Department today while visiting to attend the Centennial events. The Aarhus group of approximately 20 officers from the IPA, International Police Association, they spent their morning at the VIPD Richard Colwood Command in downtown St. Thomas, where Police Commissioner Delroy Richards, Police Chief Jason Marsh, and Deputy Chief Eugene Alcindor hosted their fellow Danish officers.
Yes, we are visiting you because we are here as a group of International Police Association. It's a group, we are not representing the police officially, but it's a group where we represent this IPA, International Police Association. It's been really, really great. We have a tour guide. She's a local guide, but she speaks Danish, and she's really wonderful. And Monica is her name. What we have learned about the islands is what we have read in books and so on.
On Friday, March 31st, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, they will be holding a special naturalization ceremony to celebrate Transfer Day. The event will take place at the Fort Christiansted National Historic Site. Many will witness 100 new citizens take the oath of allegiance to the United States. The presentation of the citizenship candidates will be done by Lorelei Connor, Field Office Director for USCIS, USVI, and District Director Linda M. Swasina will be present in this judicial ceremony where the Honorable Curtis Gomez will administer the oath to America's newest citizens. The national anthem will be sung by Charlotte Amalie High School students. The event is open to the public. Well, coming up, there are more events for the Centennial. Tonight, the governor's reception is taking place presently at the Government House in St. Croix. It's going on until 8 p.m. The Transfer Centennial Commission, looking ahead, is sponsoring the military parades. St. John was held last weekend on St. Croix. It's March 31st. Parade starts at 8 a.m. from Bassin Triangle, St. Thomas. Also March 31st, parade will be held on Veterans Drive, starts at 2 p.m. The parade route will end near the St. Thomas Legislature. Senate President Myron Jackson, members of the 32nd Legislature, they are joining dignitaries from Denmark, the United States, Puerto Rico, BVI, other Caribbean countries, as well as visitors and residents for ceremony on Capitol grounds that starts at 3 p.m. Virgin Islands Police Department is reminding the general public of road and parking restrictions in place for the Centennial Day Parade and Government House Luncheon. Scheduled for Friday, Government Hill, Kongens Gata will be closed to traffic between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. And on Transfer Day, Friday, March 31st, also on Veterans Drive in the area of Lucinda Millen Home to the Cancrine Bridge will be closed from 1:30 p.m. No east and westbound traffic will be allowed until the completion of the parade. Lastly, Veterans Drive, Hospital Gata intersection by the police station, that will be closed to vehicular traffic, as well as the fire station street. And that will be closed until the completion of the ceremony. Meanwhile, on St. Croix, here are some parking restrictions to keep in mind for the transfer ceremonies effective Friday, March 31st from 6 a.m. until the completion of the event. Following parking restrictions will be in effect. No parking on King Street from Queen Cross Street to the Wharf area. No parking on Church Street between King and Company Streets. No parking on Strand Lane. No parking on Hospital Street between King and Company Streets. Any vehicle found parked in the restricted areas will be ticketed and or towed at the owner's expense. Well, we shared this earlier. A commemorative coin by the 340 Group, produced by the 340 Group LLC, has been chosen as the official Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial coin. As we shared last month, the coin, a minted 39mm antique brass commemorative item. The coin features a dark blue outer ring which reads United States Virgin Islands Centennial 1917 to 2017, a light blue inner ring which reads St. John, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Water Island, and the inner core which features the American, Danish, and U.S. Virgin Islands flags, an outline of the three islands with 100 as the background. You can purchase it on the 340 LLC website, www.vigiftshop.com. Here's more.
We have the coins and we have the lithographs. It's going to be a part of a 12-set series with 5 locations on St. Thomas, 5 historical locations on St. Thomas, 5 on St. Croix, and 2 out of St. John. We've produced 7 of the set already. And by the time the centennial year is completed, we'll have completed the entire set, and we'll be able to offer the set for sale as well.
And the commemorative coins, I should say, include local places like Lutheran Church, the Legislature, the Customs House in St. Croix, very popular, okay, and Catherineburg, of course.
Be sure to pick up one of those. Now, the Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial Commission and Cardall Jewelers, They're pleased to announce the limited edition VI Centennial 2017 timepieces. The Centennial 2017 clock and watches are beautifully crafted of stainless steel and features Cardell's iconic three-island map and the Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial logo in raised enamel. You can find them at all Cardell store. The timepieces are also available online at cardell.com or the vitransfercentennial.org. Here's more.
Well, the Centennial watch was actually designed by my father, who got involved in the project early on and then was very interested in it. And so it's the first and only watch he designed in cooperation with the Centennial Committee as well. You know, okay. So it's a beautiful watch. We wanted to make it special, so we added some features that weren't available when we made the original Virgin Islands watches. These new watches now can go scuba diving with up to 200 meters, water resistance, screw ring crowns, sapphire crystals so that they don't scratch, as well as easily as the previous watches. And the overall look, the inside of the watch is actually the logo of the Centennial Committee and the Centennial Celebration. And that we didn't have anything to do with. That beautiful logo is coming from the Centennial Committee, and they did a wonderful job. It was a very easy collaboration with them. We were always on the same page, so it was a breeze getting the watches made, and the clocks as well.
That was Paul Dillaroe of Cardell Watch. He's a Cardell Watch buyer and designer, and earlier you heard from Monica and Austin Callwood of the 340 Group. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers, we can see the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all up. The Dow 69, NASDAQ 16, S&P 500 up at 6. Coming up on News 2, some sad news to report of a tourist who drowned, plus news from NEWS and your weekend guide all coming up. We'll be right back. Great shot there from Fort Christian. The legislature's Committee on Economic Development and Agriculture met on Tuesday, March 28th, to hear testimony from Carlos Robles, Commissioner of Agriculture, Wayne Biggs, Acting Commissioner of the Economic Development Authority, as well as Beverly Nicholson Doty, the Commissioner of Tourism. Although senators offered suggestions and inquired further into each department, tourism's presentation at the recent Sea Trade Cruise Global Trade Show that was held in Florida, that became a hot topic. Here's more.
The display. I believe only us will know that VI Nice represents. I think that when you're trying to capture other people, you want to mostly expose, for example, duty-free, no passport, especially the no passport needed, American flags, stuff like that, because that's the edge we have over other destinations.
In terms of the VI Nice, I have no issue with the VI Nice. What I have issue with is the fact that it's played to reggae music. And reggae is so universal with Jamaica that I don't know that sometimes as soon as they hear, no matter what the word is, that they just think in Jamaica. So I wish they would redo the VI Nice or Quelbe or something that is more local to the Virgin Islands here. And what is popular and not popular, I think that the individual needs to speak in the twang of the local people. So the individual needs to speak like a Saint-Tomian and not speak like a Jamaican, because when you speak like a Jamaican, they think you're from Jamaica.
And of course, that statement garnering much attention. Many took to social media to voice their concerns about the statements made. Police say a female tourist drowned on St. Croix. Some sad news to report. Here's more from the VIPD.
On March 30th, the 911 call center were notified about a drowning at 10:53 a.m. It was a Danish female visitor, 26 years old, that drowned in Cotton Valley Shores, Christiansted. She was staying with some friends in the Cotton Valley area. The landlord observed her floating in about 8 feet of water and brought her to shore. He performed CPR on her for about 20 minutes. The fire service, VIPD, and EMT personnel responded. The victim was transported to the Wang Eflui Hospital by ambulance and was pronounced dead at 11:15 a.m.
Turning our attention to Caribbean news, turning to Dominica. The Dominica National Lottery, they launched the Blast. Lottery players now have access to electronic gaming terminals with new features such as high security locks. Here's more.
The official launch of the Blast by Dominica National Lotteries on Wednesday means lottery players now have access to electronic gaming terminals. Patrons will now have access to tamper-resistant terminals around the country, which will feature high security locks. The machines, which are able to detect counterfeit notes, come in various sizes.
The terminals will remind you when you've been on them for a bit too long. So they're pop-up reminders to let you know how long you've been participating. Recommendations that it's time that you cash out. Cash in limits. So you can actually, as a gamer, if you believe that this is something that you want to avail yourself of, can set a limit as to how much you're prepared to spend, and the machine will let you know when that limit has been attained.
As entertaining as this game promises to be, there are limits in terms of who will have access, and those who qualify must also remember to participate responsibly.
It's clearly identified. This is for participants 18 years and over. And it basically forms part of all the messaging where the new logo appears. Anytime you see the Blast logo, you will see that consistent message. Must be 18 years and over to participate in gaming.
The lottery business in Dominica has come a long way from the days of scratch games. In 1993, Canadian banknotes came in, resulting in further expansion of the National Lottery's offerings to include the Abarzo system in 2010.
A few years prior to this launch, there were other persons knocking on our door, the lottery's door, to provide VLTs. But eventually, February last year, the Directorate of CBN, with responsibilities for the lottery division, agreed that, yes, VLTs will come to Dominica.
Turn our attention back at home. DeMarcus Navarro, a resident of St. Croix, lost his battle against bone cancer early this month. DeMarcus was a 6-year-old boy who attended the Lumuckle Elementary School. After learning that DeMarcus had bone cancer, Celia relocated to Florida to get further treatment for her son. DeMarcus' his leg was amputated in efforts to contain the cancer. Celia received $2,000 from residents to pay for medical expenses. However, sadly, DeMarcus succumbed to cancer. Celia was unable to pay for her son's funeral. But after hearing about Celia's situation, residents in the territory took to Facebook and raised over $6,000 for funeral arrangements. St. John Administrator Camille Paris Jr. invited the public to a town hall meeting with the Virgin Islands Police Department Commissioner Delroy Richards and other VIPD representatives last evening, located in the Cleon Creaky Legislative Conference Room in St. John. This was an opportunity for the public to discuss their concerns and solutions regarding law enforcement, such as drug concerns. That came up. Residents say they were concerned about drug dealing, general loitering, and noise disturbances. These were just some of the concerns raised. Well, the weekend is nearly here, and now is the time to make some plans. Emmett has your weekend guide. Here's more.
Ready. It's another episode. When we out on the road. This is what we love to celebrate, This is not Hollywood.
Welcome to the Weekend Guide. And before we crack into the weekend events, listen, we're going to show you a fantastic game right here from the CAHS Gymnasium. It's called Lunch League. If you've been to CAHS, you're familiar with this game. It's all about bragging rights. It's all about respect. And it's very exciting.
Coach Corbett here, shout out Mali High School. 2017 launch lead, you gotta be here.
Hey, my name is Kevonte Dow. I'm a musician, I'm a part of the band, but the biggest thing right now going on in Charlotte Amali High School is the lunch league. This game is very lit.
My name is David Heiliger. I'm a senior at the Charlotte Amali High School. My team, we became victorious today because from the get-go I tell them, don't matter what size, how big they is, we're gonna take them down.
Now for your weekend guide. Shaw HP The Band presents a Rags and Rum CD release party this Friday at the Crush Bar and Nightclub. It's Carnival and it's a big Calypso tent eliminations. Saturday, April 1st at the Crown Bay Center. Tutor Park Mall presents a Centennial commemoration. Saturday, April 1st from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And our favorite adult party spot, Virgin Havens Bar and Grill, presents a Sunday afternoon party featuring the Spectrum Band alongside DJ Nick. Have a safe and happy weekend. If you want your event featured, just call 340-228-1199.
Well, let's see what the weekend is going to look like weather-wise. That's coming up next.
Here in the Virgin Islands on our Thursday, and let me tell you, we're going to continue to see that. Our satellite showing us our setup right now, and we do have the remnants of cold front and boundary layer that continues to keep a lot of that moisture off towards our south. Now, as this area of high pressure out over the areas of the Caribbean, southeast U.S. continues to build eastward, I do expect that boundary to shift up just a little bit, increasing our shower chances as we head into this weekend. Now, a lot of the showers have been held out towards Puerto Rico for today. We did see a couple of brief passing ones, especially out near St. Croix, but tonight I do expect mostly clear conditions, 73 degrees for your low. Moving into our Friday here, mostly sunny skies, that boundary keeping that moisture still off towards the south, so we're not quite going to be seeing too many showers here for tomorrow, if any at all. 84 degrees for your high, and beach conditions not too bad either. We're not seeing extremely high swells or any small craft advisories out on the waters. For St. Thomas, mostly sunny. Once again, a very nice day. Down towards St. Croix, the same story here, 85 degrees. Perfect day to head out to the beaches. No increased chance of rip currents either. As we head on to the Atlantic, your forecast for your marine, 4 to 6 feet for your waves. Winds out of the east, 10 to 15 knots. So, hey, that's not too bad. We're starting to see those trade winds move back in. 4 to 6 feet for the Caribbean as well, with those winds out of the east, 10 to 15 knots. Now, over the weekend, as that area of high pressure built in, our trades kind of return. We're more so looking at an uptick in moisture, some clouds across the area, maybe a stray shower, and then that trade wind flow will really settle in as we head into early next week. So any of the wet weather that we're looking at over the next few days should be brief, fairly passing, nothing extremely notable. Back to you.
So not too bad. Thank you for that. We got the parades going on, so everybody wants to know weather-wise what's happening. Time for a news to weather picture there by Janalis Saldana that shows some overall typical VI weather, sunshine, clouds, and a nice time to head outdoors as we near the weekend. Send us your news to weather picture to the address on the screen, and be sure to tune in and see us right here on News 2. That is all for now. I'm Sandra Gomansing. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.